everyone's welcome back to my channel. It's Remy, and if you can't tell by the title what we're doing today, I am starting Throne of Glass, and I will tell you I could not wait. So last night I did read the first 2 chapters after I finished Accomplice to the Villain. So I'm gonna give you my initial thoughts on the first 2 chapters, but let's talk about reading order first. So I said that I was gonna read this and then Assassin's Blade in my actually the current video I'm editing, but I changed how I was going to do the reading order. I've been really stressed about this reading order, which is why I've put off this series for so freaking long, but let me tell you, this is what I'm gonna do, okay? I'm gonna read Assassin's Blade 4th, and I'm gonna explain to you why, okay? So I came across this Instagram post, and it talked about the different reading orders of Throne of Glass. There's the publication order, which is reading Assassin's Blade 3rd, and then there's the chronological order, which is Assassin's Blade 1st, which I was gonna do, but my friend told me I would want the context of this and I would be confused if I read it first. Then the romantic order, reading Assassin's Blade 4th, and the romantic order is basically saying that it is the reading order that will have the most emotional impact. And I love a good emotional story, so I think that is what I've decided I'm going to do. I had the first 4 books. I might have just went and bought them the other day, but I have Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, and Assassin's Blade. So after I finish all those, the next one will be the tandem read. No, the tandem read is the last. No, the next one will be Queen of Shadows, and then the tandem read. So let's talk about my thoughts so far, okay? My thoughts so far, you can definitely tell this is Sarah J Maas's first novel, her debut novel. You can definitely tell that by her writing. And by the way she is depicting these characters. I definitely think that her writing in ACOTAR is so much better. She definitely had practice putting out 8 books before writing ACOTAR, but Sir. And what I mean by that is like the way she's writing, it just like when I read it, I was like, this is Sarah J Maas right now. It was my first thought when I started reading it, was like, is this her debut novel? Because you can definitely tell. I don't really like how she's depicting, is it Selena or Selena? I don't know. I don't really like how she's depicting her so far. I think she's over dramatizing her a little bit. Like with her, how crazy and like cold she is. Like I think she's being kind of weird about it. If she wants to make her this crazy killer person, I feel like she should have made her like, I don't know. Me personally, I would have liked a giddy side of like, oh, it's fun to kill, but she's kind of doing it. There's a part in the 2nd chapter where they're like, well, what did you do? She goes, I snapped. Okay, girl. Okay, girl, what? She apparently like killed a bunch of guards or something, but that just felt like it kind of felt comedic. Like it just didn't feel like, oh, she's cold and scary, I should be scared of her. It felt like, girl, okay, you snapped, right? Okay. So I definitely think that's my first thought so far. My friend Jess, who loves this series, told me that this is her least favorite book of the series. So I'm gonna push through, obviously, because I've heard so many good things about the series. A lot of people's favorite books are the 2nd book and Queen of Shadows, which is the 6th book? I don't know. I'm gonna push through though because I think that the story will be really good. Okay, I think it's been a couple days since I've talked to you. Maybe? I can't remember when I started this. If I started this yesterday, then it hasn't been. I don't remember. Anyway, I am a little over 25% of the way through this book. My thoughts so far. So what's happened so far? You know, because this is a spoilers vlog. What's happened so far? Basically, Selena is a slave in Andover, like in the salt mines, right? She gets taken out of the mines by the Prince of Adarlan or whatever, and he wants to use her as his champion for this competition that his father, the king of Adarlan, whatever, to see who is going to like work for him and be his assassin. Basically, he doesn't say those words. He just keeps calling them his champion, but it's basically like his personal assassin. She is up against some other competitors. She was considered the assassin of Adarlan, and nobody knew who she was. They knew her name, so she was going by a different name, Lillian something. She's pretending to be a jewel thief, basically, from Bellhaven. And so at first I didn't really like Selena very much, but she's growing on me. I really like Cal, and every time I hear his name in the audiobook, it sounds like Kale. Anyway, I didn't really like Dorian very much because I really liked the kind of chemistry that Selena and Cal have. But then Dorian got her books and was like, these are my favorite books and you have to read them when she asked for books. So I thought that was cute. Anyway, I heard that this isn't very romance heavy. It's more plot heavy, which I do really like in fantasy. So I really like romance as a subplot, but they are cute together, I think. Not to compare this to ACOTAR, but it's kind of hard not to, just because it's by the same author. I feel like Cal gives Lucian vibes, because I read ACOTAR first, so technically Lucian would give Cal vibes. Anyways, and I feel like Dorian does definitely give Tamlin vibes, but not as bad. But I guess we won't know, because we thought Tamlin was good in the first book, right? Selena definitely is more tough. It's definitely tougher than Thera, so I wouldn't compare to Thera. She's kind of like her own little character, I think. But maybe Nesta. Maybe I could compare her to Nesta, but even then, I feel like that's kind of like Nesta just out of the cauldron type situation. But anyway, I heard that they're in the same world. Because she kept saying Aurelia, and it made me, I felt like that sounded familiar. Maybe they said it in ACOTAR, but I don't remember. Oh, peace down. But I don't remember, so I'm assuming that this is the other continent that everyone in ACOTAR was talking about that nobody like goes to or whatever, and it's ruled by a king or something. Yeah, also, so they're about to start so every week they're getting a elimination test, right? They're about to start their elimination test from where I'm at, because I'm on chapter 15. And one of the competitors died. Someone killed him. And he was a murderer, like literally a murderer. Because like these competitors, or these potential champions, are all from like different walks of life. Some of them were soldiers, some of them were thieves, some of them were murderers. So one of the murderers got murdered by someone. I don't know. Huh? There's we don't know. And Selena was kind of very worried about it. She thought it would be a pattern that they would kill someone right before the elimination test to like lower the odds of the person who's killing people to get eliminated. So we'll see if that is like a theme that's happening. After this last chapter, I really do like Cal. I really like him. I think that he's gonna be a really good character throughout the entire series. I don't know how, again, I'm kind of iffy on Dorian. We haven't seen much of him so far. We kind of got a little bit of his point of view and had his dynamic with his father. And I definitely think that if it's going in the Dorian-Selena route, I definitely think that Dorian and Selena will probably come together to take down his father. And I know that the Princess Nahum, what's her name? The princess from Ilway, I know that there's rumors of her being a part of the rebellion in Elway. So I wonder if like Selena ends up joining the rebellion. That would be really interesting. Yeah, I don't know. But so far these are my thoughts. I really like it. Again, like I said before, you can definitely tell that it's Sarah J Maas's like debut novel. I will say the audiobook helped me a little bit with that. I guess I've definitely just gotten used to it so far. You definitely can still tell it's Sarah J Maas's writing, but you can just tell that it was like her first works, just because her writing isn't as good as ACOTAR. It's really gonna be interesting to see how her writing changes throughout this series, because obviously this is her first series and it's 8 books. So she definitely had a lot of practice to better her skills. So I'm kind of excited to see how her writing changes. That's all my thoughts I have so far. I'm gonna read a little bit more. and we'll see where this takes me, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta talk about something real quick, okay? I just got off work. I was reading this on my break. I read about 2 chapters on my lunch break, okay? They're kind of setting it up like there's gonna be a romance with Cal. Like how Dorian, which I don't know if Dorian was just doing it to see, which Dorian could have asked him to see if he likes, what's her face? Because he was definitely flirting with her, but he also is a ladies man, if you want to call it that, a player. He is a player. He be flirting with everybody. He says that, but he was also saying that all the girls bore him. Well, he kind of insinuated except for Selena. But he like flirted with her, made her blush, and then he like basically accused Cal of like liking her and was like, well, you know, if she runs away and you have to kill her, it's gonna break your heart, bro. And he was like, Dorian, I don't like her. And so it made me think that either they're setting it up for there to be a relationship with Cal, right? And Cal's denying his feelings, or Dorian was trying to get the feelers out and see if Cal likes Selena. So that's on the romance part of it. So let's update you on the plot part of it, okay? So where I left you was right before the first test, okay? The first test was archery. Selena like went through that with like a breeze. Cal was mad at her because she did too good and she's supposed to be undercover and act like she's not that great. Someone got eliminated. Then, oh my god, then a champion, for some reason, he decided he didn't want to do this shit anymore. He shoved a guard and knocked a guard out and like shoved him and his head hit the floor and he knocked the guard out. And then he left, like was leaving the training area, like to try to like leave the castle and just, I don't know, walk out, bro. And got shot in the neck. And then that's when all the champions were like, so they're for real gonna kill us for real. They're like for real gonna kill us for real. So maybe we should like get this shit together because for real gonna kill us for real. Oh, Nox was introduced. He is like a thief from Parenth that Selena heard of, but like didn't know who he was, obviously. And so they're kind of like friends. They're both champions. They're kind of like friends. I'm sure Nox has a little crush on Selena, but you know, he said after the champion was killed and shot in the neck, he said that he had made a deal with his sponsor, which the guy who picked him to be the champion, that if he lost, he wouldn't go to prison. And so he got that. Now he's thinking, what he kind of insinuated was that he's not going to go to prison, he's going to die. They're going to kill him if he loses. What? Now I feel like the final battle is going to be between her and Nox, because that would be more emotional because they're friends and she knows in her head that if she beats him, even if she doesn't kill him, he's gonna die. They're gonna kill him, right? So that's how I feel right now. I like Nox. And Princess Nahima, I don't know her name. I gotta listen to the audiobook and remember how they pronounce it. She's just I like her. She's cool. She wants to spar with Selena, but they won't allow it. Dorian walks in right when they're about to spar, and he like doesn't allow it. Let me back up. Hold on. Let me back up. The champion gets killed in the neck. Gets shot in the neck, killed, dead, right? And then they're training and they're doing a bunch of training. There's some like emotional conversations between Selena and Cal about her past and whatnot. And you can tell he kind of feels bad for her, even though in his head he wants to be like, she's a criminal, she's awful, blah, she's killed a bunch of people, blah. So he doesn't see her as human, but with her telling her story, I think he's starting to see her as human and more, you know, I don't know, like someone who actually has feelings, I guess. And then we go into Dorian's point of view, and Dorian is in this like ballroom with a bunch of people and his mom. And his mom is like, you need to get married, bitch. And he said, meh. And she gives him a list of women to choose from. Tell him to pick. Just to pick who to get married to. He was pissed, boy. So he leaves, and that's when he's like, all these women bore me. And then he's like, I don't know where I'm going, but I see her. And then he sees Selena. And then he sees her about to spar with the princess of Princess Nehemiah. He's like, you can't do that. And he wants to escort the princess back to her chambers. She says, no. Dorian tells her, because Selena and the princess are speaking in Ilwe, right? So she's the only one that can translate Selena. Dorian tells Selena to tell the princess, right, that she should not be sparring because she's a princess, blah, blah, blah. So Selena tells the princess, Dorian said the crown prince said that he would be your first sparring partner. Period. And so then Dorian starts sparring with the princess and like trying to teach her how to fight. And then Cal walks in, bro, and he gets mad. He gets so pissed. He's like, what the fuck is this, bro? What are y'all doing? And Dorian is like, we're just having fun or whatever. Something along those lines. You know, this is all paraphrasing. They allow Dorian and the princess to spar, but make Selena go back to her room. She was pissed. She cussed Cal out, and Cal was like, are you done? Caltain's point of view, so you kind of find out that Caltain has this deal with the Duke, Parrington, to marry him, but really she wants to marry Dorian, but she's using Parrington to get close to Dorian, right? And Caltain was actually one of the women on the list that his mother gave him, that Dorian's mom gave him to like pick to marry. He does not like Caltain. He does not like her. Frankly, I don't really either. But she starts shit-talking Lillian to Parrington, talking about well, you know Dorian is in love with her. Blah, 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 blah. Which, I don't think she knows that Lillian / Selena is a champion. I don't know if anybody in the, like, kingdom knows about this, like, contest or whatever they're doing. But, basically, she's saying all this shit to Parrington. So I'm assuming that's going to cause discourse with Dorian being Selena's sponsor for this whole championship. Probably with the king or something. That's probably what's going to happen. And, then we go into Dorian and Cal's point of view, and this is when Dorian is like, Cal was like, you and Selena have been becoming closer, some shit like that, and Dorian's like, jealous are we? Like, trying to, like, kind of, like, I guess, my guess is that he's trying to feel out if Cal likes her, because they're friends, they've grew up together, so if Cal likes her, he's probably gonna back off, right? So I think that's what the vibe is. I feel like it's kind of being set up like a love triangle. I really hope not, but Cal is basically telling Dorian to stay away from Selena because she's an assassin and she's dangerous and whatever. And Dorian's like, why would she kill me? Like, she doesn't, if she wanted to kill me, she would have. If she wanted to escape, she would have already, like, blah, blah, blah. And then he basically is teasing Cal and tells him he worries too much, and then he said, is this my job to worry? And then Dorian is like, well, you'll have gray hair before you're 25, and Selena certainly will not fall in love with you. And Cal's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Either Cal is lying about his feelings and Dorian can see it, and Cal doesn't want to admit it, right? Or Dorian wants to know if Cal likes her. So that's as far as I got. I'm on chapter 20. I'm 35% of the way through. I want to read more today. So, I have gotten to chapter 24, listening to the audiobook and reading. I listened to the audiobook on the way home yesterday, and then I also read a little bit at home, but not a lot. I got distracted. Then I read on my break today, which I only get a 30-minute break, and I don't really read very fast. Well, I guess I got through 3 chapters on my break, so I guess that's not awful, but it's just not a lot of pages. I got through like 30 pages or something. But basically, they're on their 3rd test, I think. I don't know. They stopped telling us every test. But basically, the last test they were climbing up a fucking building. Okay, they were climbing up a building to get a flag. Knox, which is like Selena's like champion friend or whatever, he almost fell off and died because one of the other competitors was trying to cut his rope. Like, they pushed him off of the ledge, and then, like, he was dangling by his rope, and they were trying to cut his rope so he'd, like, fall and die. Like, they were at a height where he would die. Selena literally saved him. Like, as he was falling, she jumps down and catches him. Like, and her, like, rope is holding both of their weight. She ends up, like, getting 18th place because of this. One of the competitors fell he was the other murderer. So, like, in the competition in the beginning, there was a few thieves, there was a few soldiers, and then there was 2 murderers that were a part of the competition. And both the murderers are dead. So the first murderer got murdered, and then the second murderer fell off the castle thing and died, okay? And that's just because he slipped and he fell. Oh, one of the contestants, like one of the competitors didn't show up to the test, like the climbing of the building. And turns out he was in a storage closet murdered. So somebody's murdering the competitors, and I think it's Kane. If it's not Kane, then I feel like it's going to be a plot twist, like maybe it's Knox or something. But I feel like with how brutally these people are murdered, I think it has to be Kane based on how they describe his, like, stature and, like, how he acts. To me, Knox, like, is probably either, in my head, he's, like, the same height as Selena, or, like, maybe an inch taller, but he's not, like, built. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Kane is, like, built. Oh, she had a nightmare. She had a night terror and was screaming in her sleep. And Kale was like, "Are you okay? I thought you were being murdered. Like, what's wrong?" And she tells him about the dream and whatever. I love their chemistry so damn bad. Let me tell you. Okay, there's a scene. Princess Nehemia. I listened to the audiobook and I remembered how her name is pronounced. Princess Nehemia, right, was, walking with Selena, and then Dorian comes up, and Dorian's like, "Hello, your highness," blah blah blah, and then you find out that he is supposed to be, like, basically taking her as a hostage to keep the king of Eelway, like, complacent to the king of Ardalan, fuck, how do you say, Ardalan? That's such a dumb name. I hate that name. First of all, I can't say it. Second of all, it just sounds dumb out loud. Anyway, they're trying to keep the king of Eelway at basically complacent to Dorian's father, because they're trying to be like they're trying to build an empire. Basically, they've, like, taken over the majority of Aurelia, and Eelway, I think, is, like, one of the places that actually has a king left. So he's trying to keep him complacent. So their plan is to basically kidnap the princess of Eelway, which is Nehemia. Her and Selena are kind of, like, smart. Like, they're being smart asses to Dorian. And then they walk away, and you end up going back in Selena's point of view. And Princess Nehemia is, like, begging Selena to be her tutor for their common language, because she hates the tutor she has, and she loves Selena. Like, they're, like, friends, basically. And so Selena asks Kale, and Kale says no. And then Princess Nehemia is mad, right? So then, oh my god, her and Kale just basically start flirting. First of all, she remembered his brother's name, and I think that, like, meant a lot to Kale. Selena says, "I suppose you'll enjoy the feast without me there, that is." He snorted. "Are you upset about missing it?" "No. But, well, it's a party, and everyone loves parties. Shall I bring you a trinket from the revelry?" "Only if it consists of a sizable portion of roast lamb. The feast isn't that exciting. It's the same as any supper. I can assure you the lamb will be dry and tough. As my friend, you should either bring me along or keep me company." "Friend?" he asked. She blushed. "Well, scowling escort is a better description, or reluctant acquaintance if you prefer." To her surprise, he smiled. I think that's the end of their, like, basically their flirting, because then Princess Nehemia, like, interrupts her and, like, asks her to be her tutor for, like, the common language and whatever, because she was kind of left out of their conversation and she didn't know what was happening. But they're like little, like their natural chemistry is just so fucking good, but I know that Kale is not going to be her love interest. I can just, how it's being set up. And honestly, it's being set up like it's Dorian, but somebody at work told me it's not even Dorian. It's another character you see in like a later books, which pisses me off. Like, I just want, their natural chemistry is just so fucking good. I'm so mad. Like, I want Kale to be her love interest so bad. He is giving more Lucian vibes, like, from ACOTAR. Like, they're just gonna more so be friends. But, man, they flirt too much. Like, come on now, bro. Oh my god. And he's, like, having to see her every day and train with her, and, like, he's learning more about her past, and I feel like he's, like, connecting with her more emotionally. Like, Dorian being a love interest won't even make sense at this point, just because we're almost halfway through and we barely see them together. Like, there's times where he's flirting with her when they are together. They don't really have much of a fucking relationship, because he's never really there, because, you know, they won't let, like, him be around, what's-her-face, Selena. And honestly, I don't know if I like Dorian very much. To be real with you, I don't think I like him very much. Kale, listen. Kale? I'm gonna need that to happen. If not, I need someone to make a fanfic. So I can read it. Like, for real. If not, I'm gonna make the damn fanfic. Because what you mean? What you mean that Kale and Selena are not gonna be together? Like, disappointment. Going to do another test. So, there's like a feast happening. That's what they were talking about. It's like a holiday to celebrate the winter months ending or whatever. I think it's like it's supposed to be this similar to like the real holiday Samhain. Yeah, they call it Samhain. I am really liking this so far. God, I love Kale so much. Don't really like Dorian. Their natural chemistry is just so good. Like, why write them like that and then not make them together? It's criminal. You know, I'm keeping my hope because we really don't know for real. And you know what? Sarah J Maas, she knows how to damn write. Even this with her debut novel, like, her writing is addicting. And I think I've gotten used to her, like, amateur quote-unquote writing. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna read some more, probably listen to my audiobook on the way home. Okay, please forgive how crazy my hair looks. I woke up and I've been reading since I woke up, okay? And I am on chapter 28, okay? I'm on chapter 28. People who read this book and remember this book, chapter 28. Dorian, in the middle of this chapter, is trying to teach Selena how to play pool. When I saw the pool table and she was like trying to play pool by herself and she couldn't figure it out, I knew the scene was coming. I knew it. And I knew it was going to be Dorian, because Cal would never do that. Why? I hate that. Like, that's one of my least favorite, like, cliche scenes, is a pool table game. I hate it so bad, and I hate Dorian. And it's cringing me out, and I'm so glad that the scene's not very long, because, no. Okay, no. I need to update you on what's going on, in here since chapter 24, because I think that's when I last updated you, was chapter 24. I'm gonna finish this chapter, and then I will do just that, okay? Alrighty, I had to update you guys, the peeps, gotta update the peeps before my phone dies. My phone's about to die. I am, 60-something% through now. I'm on chapter 33, page 2-something, 267, something like that. I hate every time Dorian's on the page. I just, like, get away from me. If I'm not learning about himself and his family dynamics and stuff, I don't care. I don't want him around Selena, personally. Varen and Selena were about to duel, and he was being kind of an asshole, saying inappropriate things about Selena, aka Lillian. Anyway, obviously she checked that bitch because they got into that damn ring, and she whipped his ass without even having to touch her sword. She whipped his fucking ass, bro. Let me tell you. She's not holding back anymore because Kane I forgot to tell you guys. Kane knows who she is. He knows that she is Selena Sardathian, Ardalan's assassin. He knows. He knows that all what she's doing is fake and that she is holding herself back. He knows all that shit. So she said, fuck it. And she did not hold back. Literally, her and Varen's, like, duel lasted not even a minute. Not even a minute. She literally checked him so hard. And to the point, Brulo's mouth was like, bruh. He was shocked. And she said, weapons master, if you are, she said, give me real men to fight or I'm not even gonna try. That's what she said. Period. Actually. Period. And that was like my favorite part. So, and then after that, or before that, I don't know, there was that scene with Dorian and the pool table. I don't care about that. I don't want to hear about that. And then he got upset because also they're all touchy with the fucking holding hands and shit. I don't put it away. Put it away. I don't want it. I don't want it. Her and Dorian were all like touchy-feely and close and like holding hands and shit. Go away. Go away. Why? Anyway, he was like, who got you this ring? Oh, did I tell you? Cal got her a ring. At the Sam Hewen Fest, he brought her a ring, okay? And it was an amethyst ring they were giving to all the ladies that were there. He stole one for her, okay? She has an amethyst ring on her finger. And he, which I thought was super fucking cute, he kicked Dorian out of her room because Dorian was there drunk as hell, like, looking at her sleeping, creepy. And Cal goes, what the fuck are you doing here? And then Dorian goes, what the fuck are you doing here? And Cal said, she's an assassin. Get the fuck out. She's gonna kill you. Throws him the fuck out. Then he goes in there, wakes her up, and goes, hey, look what I got you. Look what I got you. And it's the cutest shit ever. I am a Cal girly through and fucking through. I don't like Dorian. I don't like Dorian at all. Anyway, Dorian's all upset. He goes, who the fuck got you this ring? Who the fuck? Who the fuck got you that shit? And she said, none of your fucking business, bitch. None of your fucking business. Because it's not his business. Not his business. And she knew he would be mad if he found out Cal gave it to her. And that Cal would be mad for her telling Dorian. So, she didn't say shit. And it's not his business. And, yeah. He also peeped the necklace on her. Wait! I haven't updated y'all on shit. Hold on a second. Back up. Backwards. Reverse. Okay. The night of Sam Hewen, she had a dream, or she thought she was dreaming, that she went back into those tunnel thingies. Did I tell you about the tunnel thingies? She went to these tunnel thingies that led outside, and there was like 3 doors. She went through the middle one and led outside, and then she came back, and I think she went through the left one, and I don't remember what was in there, but she didn't go through the right one because she didn't have a good feeling. Okay, that night she dreamt that she went through the right one, or she thought it was a dream. And she talked to Elena, the queen of Ardalan, when it was ruled by magic and fae. And she told her, oh yeah, I did say this. You're the chosen one. That's basically what she did. You're the chosen one. Become the king's champion. Protect Ardalan from the evil that's in this castle. And gives her a necklace that has a blue gem on it and tells her it will protect her. I think I did say all this in my car. Anyway, basically, so Dorian peeps that necklace, right? He peeps it, doesn't say anything, and just gets his books and leaves her room. Anyway, back to them being all touchy-feely and him being all upset about this damn ring. Where am I at now? I don't remember where I'm at now. Oh, Caltane. I don't like Caltane, bruh. She gets on my nerves. But anyway, her and Dorian are talking right now, and she's like, do you want to play billiards? Do you want to play? She's like being all flirty and shit. She's like, in her mind, she's like, I hate that I like him. Do you want to play billiards? I fucking hate them together. I hate it so bad. Like, I feel like it's such a forced romance. Like, Cal and her have such natural chemistry, and I feel like with Dorian, it's so, like, forced and kind of out of nowhere. Like, they haven't had time enough together to have that chemistry. Her and Cal have such mundane time together where they're just sitting around doing nothing, or they're training, or like he's in her room telling her to get ready for this damn thing, or when she had a fucking nightmare and he went in there and was like, I thought you were getting murdered. Are you okay? What's happening? You just had a dream. Are you okay? And then what was the dream about? And then they start talking about her past and stuff. And like it's just such, there was such natural chemistry there. And I swear to God, if they don't end up together by Kingdom of Ash, I will be mad. This is my window, by the way. My cat is like, what the fuck are you tapping on? He said, what the fuck are you doing, you crazy lady? Anyway, I will be livid. Okay? Livid. Alright? Chapter 33. Varen, I think Varen also got murdered. After their thingy, he got murdered. And I think Cal thinks that it's Duke Parrington, because Cal took Selena to the scene of the crime, and she like did her investigative shit, and because she's an assassin and she's trained to like look at tiny little details and stuff. She was saying that basically that someone summoned this like monster because there was claw marks in the ground, like the creature was sharpening its nails before killing somebody, and that he could have been lying there waiting for him because he would have seen the person there, and that they probably kept him from leaving while he summoned this thing. So then they noticed that his ankles were broken and that he could not move, and that they could tell by his fingernails that he was trying to crawl away to the point where his fingernails were like broken. And then so basically saying Varen was alive waiting for like as this person was summoning this creature. So Cal thinks that it's Duke Parrington. Okay, what's up guys? It's later in the day. I have not read since I last spoke to you. So I'm going to listen to the audiobook and play some solitaire. I got a new deck of cards, so I'll be playing solitaire. Everyone I know, when I tell them I play solitaire, they call me an old woman or an old man. But when I was a kid, I loved playing cards all the time, and I would constantly be asking the adults in my life to play cards with me, and they didn't want to play cards with me 24/7. So they taught me how to play solitaire. So I play solitaire, but I think I'm going to play a different version. I'm going to play accordion solitaire. To me, it's the most fun way to play it, so that's what I'm about to do. Okay, so I am on like chapter 42 or something. I have like 100 pages left of this book. I will be real honest, not my favorite Sarah J Maas book. I know this is her first novel, so I don't want to be too harsh on it, but I feel like for them to portray Selena as this smart assassin, she's kind of stupid. She just found out what the word marks. Okay, so basically, like, all of these champions have been getting killed, right? And then there's been word marks, what they call word marks. They're like runes or whatever that are around these, the bodies of these champions that were killed, written in their blood, right? She just found out what they mean, what they're used for, and why it's written in their blood is to summon a creature in order to kill the creature, and then you receive the person's strength, like the victim's strength, right? Okay, keeping that in mind, let's go back a little bit. A couple chapters ago, she sees Kane. He's like freaking out, like he's hallucinating something, like he's running from something. And she mentions, like, he looks bigger than before. Like, he gained like 10 pounds of muscle is what she said. What she says is impossible since the last time she saw him. And she said, come to think of it, every time she sees him, he looks stronger. So my thing is, why is she not putting 2 and 2 together that Kane is the one summoning this fucking creature and using it? She's so stuck on she is convinced it's Nehemia for some reason, because Nehemia's been lying about the fact that she's been pretending that she doesn't know the common language when she does, and she was weird in the library, so she's like convinced it's Nehemia, but Nehemia has never shown any, I don't know, I feel like she's being really stupid, and this like relationship growing with Dorian is kind of pissing me off. Dorian's pissing me off. Cal is starting to piss me off just a little bit, mainly because he's being dumb. Like, he clearly has a crush on Selena, and he is getting all upset about her relationship that she's growing with Dorian, but he's also so rude to Selena all the time. Like, they have their moments, but then he's a dick, and I don't understand. But as of right now, I don't really know what my rating's gonna be on this book. I'm probably gonna have to sit on it, but Selena's pissing me off, because it's not that hard. Put 2 and 2 together. You're supposed to be smart and clever and know what's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why she can't put 2 and 2 together. I literally, when I heard her say it gives the victim strength, my immediate thought was, oh, well, Kane gets stronger every time you see him, so that clearly he's the person. Like, it was my immediate thought. I just don't understand. I don't understand stuff like that. I feel like when authors do things like that, they're trying to keep the reader confused, so like there's like some plot twist or something. But I feel like I remember little details like that when they say stuff like that in the book, and you can't fool me. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be confused, because and things like that just irritate me in books. Like, stop trying to keep the reader confused and just be like, hey, we already know this information. Like, we already know this information. Like, the last little bit of this book is kind of irritating me. I don't know if it's because I'm a little tired, but the characters are kind of getting on my nerves. But I heard Crown of Midnight is better, so it's not enough where I want to quit the series or anything, because I heard that the series is really good. It's way more fantasy based than like romance based. Like, ACOTAR is more romance based, even though there is like fantasy politics and stuff. This is way more fantasy based than romance based, which is what I'm really excited for. But because of that, I feel like the subplot of romance is lacking. I don't like any of the love interest. I love Cal for them, but the last fucking few chapters, he hasn't even been around, and then when he was around, he's being a dick. So like, he's kind of pissing me off. I guess he hasn't been around because they were trying to like grow that relationship between Dorian and what's her face, Selena, but I really don't like them together. Like, when he came to her room, they were at the ball. She went to the Yuma's ball, okay? I don't even know, I haven't updated you guys on anything, but she went to the Yuma's ball because she was convinced Nehemia was going to kill a bunch of people there, and because she was convinced Nehemia was the person killing the champions. So, even though that makes 0 sense. So, she goes to the ball, and this is all giving very Cinderella-esque. It's like a masked ball, and whatever. Kale and Dorian immediately know that it's her. She has a mask on, but it seems like everyone who's seen her in person already, like who's seen her, knew it was her immediately. I don't really know how that works, but Kale was obviously pissed she was there, but he let her stay and refused to dance with her because he's a dick and he's lame. And then Dorian was gonna dance with her, and I was like, whatever, we're gonna get this fucking scene. And Kale was objecting to that, but then Dorian was like, relax, take a night off, blah, blah, blah. So they dance for like the entire night, and all the other bitches are mad because they don't get to dance with the crown prince, and then they're like joking and kikiing, and then Cal is over there being fucking on the sidelines, being pissed off and jealous when he could have fucking danced with her. But he was like, I'm glad I didn't, because the look on Duke Parrington's face when he saw them dancing, I'm glad I didn't dance with her, because, shut up, bro, like, I get it, it's politics, it's whatever, like, but you can't be all jealous and upset, and be like, I know she's not thinking of me, but, like, of course she's not thinking of you, you didn't dance with her the entire night and then kiss her, like, duh. Mind you, okay, after they leave the ball, Dorian follows her back to her room and, like, kisses her. She left before him, and he ended up getting there before her, and she was like, I'm surprised at how fast you got here, and you didn't have a bunch of court ladies following you or whatever, some shit like that. He said, I'm not interested in court ladies, and then, like, walked up to her and kissed her. That was so cringy to me. This definitely would have been something that I would have been more into when I was... This is definitely a book series I probably would have been more into when I was, like, I don't know, a freshman in high school maybe. But now that I'm 23, about to be 24, I'm just not... it's just cringy. It's cringy. Like, the banter with Cal in the beginning was so natural and cute, but as it's gone on, he's just been more of a dick to her, and maybe that's intentional. And Dorian, the entire time, has just been so cringy, and it also doesn't help that the narrator for this audiobook gives him this, like, cringy, regal voice, like, he's supposed to sound all Prince-like, so it just makes everything he says more cringy. I've been thinking about switching back to the physical copy because maybe it's the audiobook that's making me so irritated. But also, Caltane. Bitch, let's talk about Caltane because I'm tired of her ass. I'm tired of her fucking ass. Like, I get she's like being with Duke to get close to the prince and trying to, like, save her life or some shit, because that's all women do in this time period is try to find a rich man to marry. Anyway, she's, like, trying to destroy Lillian, aka Selena, right? Or Selena, and the Duke wants her to basically drug her at the final duel so Kane will win. Mind you, if Kane... I'm not gonna say if Kane is, because he most definitely is the person summoning this damn creature and fucking... Because clearly Duke Parrington is more than willing to cheat, okay? And, Kane is definitely the one killing these champions, and I thought he was the killer the entire time anyway, but he's killing these champions and taking this fucking strength. Why the fuck would he need Selena to be drugged for her to like, she's not that, I'm telling you, she can't be that fucking powerful. She is an 18-year-old girl, and he has the strength of what, now, like 5 fucking men, like on top of his own brute ass fucking strength. There's no way he can't beat her without her being drugged. Like, I just don't understand that. And he was a soldier, mind you. She's an 18-year-old girl. Granted, she's been trained to be an assassin since she was 8. But he was a soldier, a trained soldier from a specific place, the mountains or whatever, where they're extremely cruel. And he now has the strength of his own strength plus 5 men. There's no way he can't beat her without her being You're telling me he can't fucking beat an 18-year-old girl's ass with all that strength? She has to be drugged. Like, is she that impressive? Like, I just don't understand. I hate how she is with Dorian. She's like, I hate him. He's in Halliburton. How could I ever, like, have feelings for him? And then when she's with him, she's like, I just can't help it. I just like him so much. Oh my God, I just like him so much. Girl, And then when she was like flirting with Cal at the You'll Miss ball, he was like, oh, you have people you would have more suitable courtiers or whatever he said, right? Or suitors or whatever the fuck. And like talking about Dorian. She's like, you're telling me people don't like you? And he was like, I'm the captain of the guard. I'm lowly to these people, or I'm not good enough for these women, or some shit like that. She goes, you're a great guy, and you're handsome, and blah. She's like flirting with him, and she's like holding his hand and being all flirty, because that's just, I guess, what she does. And then Dorian comes over and like cuts them off and like takes her for a dance, and she's like, I just can't help it. As soon as I see Dorian and start talking to him, I forgot about Cal, and I felt so bad for forgetting about Cal, but I just can't help it. Don't piss me off right now, because you're pissing me off right now. I hate Dorian so much. I think his character is interesting. I like hearing about his family dynamics and his own grapple with having to eventually become a king of a kingdom that like brutally conquered the entire continent, like brutally. Like they killed millions of people to conquer the continent, and now he has to be the face of that. I think that is a very interesting complexity to his character, but I hate his relationship with Selena. I don't like him. I don't think it's a good match. I think we should go back to the drawing board on that one. I think I'm done yapping about this. I am ready to, I think, have a palate cleanser from fantasy a little bit, because this will be my third fantasy book in a row, so I think I need a literary fiction palate cleanser. So I have a book lined up over there. Anyway, until tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully, I will be done with Throne of Glass. She finally figured it out. It took her seeing him chant into a portal for her to figure it out, but she figured it out. Are we shocked? No, we're not shocked. I knew it was Cain. The entire book. The entire time. I realize I've not addressed this entire vlog. My AC is so loud, okay? And it gets so hot in my apartment, so I will not be turning it off. This is, usual for my peeps that have been watching me. But for the new people, I'm so sorry about the noise. But I don't want to sweat my balls off. So, update, I'm on chapter 45, and this chapter is long. And I will say, we got a little interesting. She ended up going down to, she still thought it was Nehemia, okay? So my clip blast, when I said she figured it out, she's had to watch him chant into this portal. Yeah, she went back down to the passageways and went back to the near towards the tomb. She went to the right door, right? And heard a man chanting, and looked, and it was Cain. Oh my god, is that like, she could have used her brain and figured that out, but whatever. So Cain was chanting in front of this portal, okay? And then she sees what's happening and is slowly trying to get away, but he at her, like that's how I see it in my head. He was like down like this, and he went, and as she moved, he went, you know what I'm saying, like anyway, he goes, it wasn't supposed to be you tonight, Selena. And then locks her in the room with the creature. And she, the smart little cookie she is, because finally she has some damn brains, she gets the creature to charge at her, and then she jumps over it, and it ends up charging into the door and breaking it so she could get out. And then she runs down to the tomb area where Elena and Damaris, the Fae leaders that were entombed down there. She went down there because she remembered that Damaris had a sword. She remembered he had a sword down there. She goes down there, and the creature is following her, and she grabs the sword and basically punctures it in the head, and through its head. But this was as the creature was lunging at her, so the creature bit her in the hand, as she was wow. right? So then she gets back to her room and collapses, and Nehemia's there, and she writes word marks all over her body to help heal Selena, because otherwise she would have died, because she was dying from the bite mark. And then she finally admits to Nehemia who she actually is, and blah blah blah. And I don't understand why she thought she was the person killing everyone anyway, because it didn't make any sense. But you know, who am I? I'm just a reader, I guess. Now she is about to go into the final duel with Cain. She was at one of her last training sessions or tests, I don't know, and she tells Knox to get out of the castle. She basically kind of hints at who she actually is, tells him that there's some crazy shit going on, and that if he has a chance to run, he should, because they told him they wouldn't kill him or something. So he ends up leaving the castle and running away, and that's all I'm at right now. I'm in the middle of chapter 45. And then Kaltain, something about Kaltain, I kind of ignore her. I think because of the opium she's taking, because she's smoking opium for her headaches, she was able to see the, like, spirits that surround Cain. So, yeah. Anyway, I am going to probably listen to the audiobook and clean. I just finished editing a video and uploading it. That will be uploaded today, and then hopefully I will finish this book today, so this can be uploaded this week as well. So, say hi, Pisto. Say hi. Oh, I will be back hopefully with the book done, because I was so tired last night I couldn't finish it. I have finally finished Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, and I will say, not my favorite Sarah J Maas book. I don't really know. I'm kind of leaning between a 3 and a 3.5. I might just give it a 3.25. I am holding out hope that the series will get better. This is the first book, right? Second book is always the best in the series, in my opinion. Most of the time, the second book is the best one. So, basically, rundown of what happened. I don't remember what I said last, but they go to the final duel. They drug her, right? What I was talking about earlier. They drug her before she has to fight Cain, and then because of the Bloodbane, she was able to see, like, basically, like, a astral realm where all of these demons and creatures that Cain was summoning were residing, like, because humans can't see them, right? And they were attacking her in this realm, even though, like, it didn't show in her physical body, but, like, you know, her soul or whatever, I don't know. Cain's beating her ass. She has, like, so many injuries. And then Nehemia does, like, some magic shit, because she knows she's been lying the whole time, and she actually knows how to use the word marks and practices magic, but obviously nobody can know that, because she will be killed, because in Aurelia magic is banned, or is, like, outlawed or whatever. So she uses the magic to help summon Elena, and Elena takes the poison out of Selena's body, and so Selena could defeat Cain. So that's basically what happened. And then after she defeated Cain, Cain looked at the king, and the king, like, nodded or something, and he grabbed his sword and was going to stab her, but then Kale killed him. So go Kale. You know, I'm, like, kind of exhausted from this book. I feel like, I don't know if I'm just burnt out with fantasy right now, or if it's this book. I cannot stand Dorian. From what it seems like, Dorian and her are not going to have a relationship. Nehemia tells her, it's very clear that Kale cares about you more than either of you understand.
I was then shot 57 times.
Like, read the fucking broom. Read the fucking words on the wall, bitch. Dorian, he really pissed me off, because, like, when she was really hurt and whatever, and she, like, collapsed after the whole thing, because I guess the adrenaline went away, I don't know. And he, like, picked her up and was taking her to go get to the medics or whatever, and we were in his point of view, and he said, I love her. I will do anything for her, some shit, like, nobody's gonna keep me from her, some stupid shit like that. And I was like, brother, oh my god, I don't care. I don't like Dorian. I don't like him as a love interest. I don't feel like they had enough time to gain that sort of chemistry. Like, he was, like, flirting with her right off the bat. Her and Kale had time to, like, you know, build that relationship, and he was so distrust of her the whole time, like, the majority of the time. like before they started training more together, and she started like talking to him more about her past and what happened to her. Obviously not everything about her past, but they had such natural chemistry. And Kale, and I've said this the whole time, and Kale is so sweet to her. Dorian is like, I don't like him. Also, Kaltane got played by the Duke. The Duke, when she said, I thought this was supposed to make Kane win, and the Duke's like, what the fuck are you talking about? She said, the poison you fucking gave me. And he said, poison? What are you talking? You poisoned her? And like, got her sent to the dungeon. He like full on played her ass. Turns out, though, we get into the King's point of view. Turns out they're both using magic, King and the Duke, and the Duke was using a magic to control Kaltane's thoughts. So like he knew the whole time. She was just trying to get to Dorian. They used Kane to use the magic to prove the physical benefits of the magic, and now they're gonna use the magic on some other people, I'm assuming in the next book. I don't know. I think final thoughts, not my favorite book. It kind of pains me to give a Sarah J Maas book a 3, but I think that's what I'm gonna give it. I don't even know, like 3.25 seems a little too much. I'm utterly exhausted, but I'm so excited to read something else. So that was my full spoilers reading vlog of Throne of Glass, and don't worry, you will get Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, The Assassin's Blade, and all of the other books in the same format. And I plan on reading Crown of Midnight in April, so stay tuned.